everybody. Welcome to WD Carousel of Podcast. My name's Crystal.
And I'm Ian.
And today we are going to stick with the parks a little bit, but we're going to do a little bit of a history lesson.
Yes.
And this is something that we've talked about before on other episodes.
Yes.
At least we've made mention of it.
Right.
And this is something that is semi-parks related, not parks related.
It's resort related.
Property related.
Yeah.
Property related.
Yeah.
And this is, what the heck is Disney Springs? A little bit more specifically, where did it come from? What's its life like? And what is it at now? Because it's had a number of incarnations.
Yes. And I have them all written down on my phone, but I left it on my desk.
That's okay. I have my phone right here.
I'll be right back.
Hold, please. I would put in some sort of hold music, but I don't want copyright issues.
That'd be bad, especially with anything Disney related. That'd be real bad.
I know.
All right.
They still haven't grabbed us though on our homepage.
Our theme song.
Yeah.
It's okay. Just don't tell anyone, okay?
No, it's fine.
It's our little secret.
It's fine.
Okay. So there has been a large number of names.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was this many names.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I knew it only as Downtown Disney and then Disney Springs.
Same here. So it turns out that it opened with the resort, the whole property. It opened with it in 1975 as the Lake Buena Vista Shopping Village, which seems kind of, it makes sense.
They originally built this as an area for the people who were living on Disney property to have a shopping area for their daily needs.
Right.
So it wasn't originally a tourist location.
Right.
But when they thought that Disney was going to be a place to live as well, they wanted to give them an area to get some basic shopping done.
Right, exactly. So this remains so...
It didn't stay that long.
Didn't stay that long, and by 1977, it was Walt Disney World Village. And I don't think, and that was still kind of more or less what it was. It hadn't they hadn't done much to change it.
They branded it more to Disney and the Disney property instead
of just the Lake Buena Vista location, geography based kind of setup.
Yeah, there was a marketplace area. There were some restaurants, but it was fairly just a relaxed little hometown shopping area.
Now in 1989, two things happened. We get Eisner.
Eisner totally Eisnered it.
Eisner just Eisnered all over it. and he basically was like, we need to keep everyone on the property all the time, and so therefore we need to make this.
If they can do it someplace else, we need to find a way for them to do it here.
Exactly.
We need their money here.
So what he did is, the first thing they did is they renamed it to Disney Village Marketplace, and they also added Pleasure Island.
Pleasure Island. And Pleasure Island is after hours area. That was adult only. And I always thought that the name Pleasure Island harkened back to Pinocchio, because the kids, when they ran away, that's what place was called Pleasure Island, when the kids would be drinking and smoking their cigars,
right,
playing pool and all of that. But actually, they have this whole backstory. Eisner had to change it, even though they used the name Pleasure Island.
Yeah, it was something else.
Yeah, it was something along the lines of this story of this yacht owner who had landed there, and he liked to party, and then he left the land here for his children to carry on, and then he got lost at sea, and
that's way too complicated.
Yeah, it was just stick with the Pinocchio story.
Even the convoluted plot lines of the water parks are simpler than that.
I know. And this
seems like a lot.
This was an area where you had a cover to even get onto the area.
It was actually a closed access part of the property, which was all very interesting, and that was how it opened. So Pleasure Island opened that way, and then they had lots of so then the Disney Imagineers got to create nightclubs basically, which is actually kind of interesting, and a couple of them were very well put together. There was like an adventure based.
And I know that there was one that was really popular with the LGBT group down there, mannequins.
Yep.
And I'm sad that I was never able to go
see it at that point.
Explore it, because that would have been amazing.
Fascinating experience.
But the other thing about Pleasure Island is every night they celebrated like it was New Year's Eve.
Right.
And so you had, that buildup of the, the party atmosphere and everything,
Right.
and then the countdown and the 3, 2, 1, boop.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a Thursday in January.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah. It was the Woo Girls, but in the form of a place. Yeah.
And I mean, it all sounds really interesting. The individual clubs inside there, I believe, had an additional
cover
as well.
Or it was part of the outside one, but the drinks were still expensive. It was something like that. It depended,
Lots of
I
cost
think.
to it.
Yeah, a lot of cost to going there.
But that actually stayed open for quite a while, too.
Now, at some point, and I don't remember exactly when this happened, but they left all the clubs, but they've changed the way that the property itself worked, and they removed the pay barrier to walk through it at night.
Yes. I think that was a revamp done late 80s?
Well, would have had to have been 90s.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
late 90s.
Been late 90s.
It's a long day.
Yeah, I understand.
But then that started getting more teenagers in there,
right.
more rowdy people.
Right. It kind of led to the deterioration of Pleasure Island
only,
when they changed it.
you'd pay cover at one club, but
Right.
it worked universally across all of them. So it became a lot more affordable, but it also led to a fairly swift decline for that area. So it did not last for long, especially when that was supposed to be a place for parents to be able to escape
their
kids and the park atmosphere. And
it was definitely an issue of, like, and I'm all about, affordable and accessible entertainment and culture. However, the entire purpose of the property was to kind of, like you said, to get the parents away from the screaming children, and it kind of failed when they had a bunch of, 18-year-olds and 17-year-olds running rampant in there. So there were some issues with that, and it definitely led to the decline of Pleasure Island. And by the time I really became aware of Downtown Disney, they had already kind of started to wrap up the operations that Pleasure Island had, and now it's just part of the thing.
And then they revamped it to Downtown Disney, and that's when they really brought in, the Disney Store as we know it. They brought in
Disney Quest.
Disney Quest.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking
that was
Quest.
and that's 1997.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Disney Quest was a huge building. It's no longer. It's being revamped for the NBA experience.
Same building.
It was meant to be a huge building that was essentially just a Disney arcade. They had lots of games. They had 3D simulators, ride simulators.
It was 5 floors. Now, fun fact about Disney Quest, this could be a whole episode. There was did you know that there was a Disney Quest in downtown Chicago?
I did not know that.
There was. They were trying as part of
expand?
as part of the parks and operations division. They decided they wanted to try and create a little corner of Disneyland or Disney World and push it across city centers across the nation and then internationally if they could. And so they basically set it up where they were going to put one in Chicago, and they did as the beta, and then they were going to push it. I think they had one it was Memphis or something.
Okay.
A little different, and then they were going to try to spread it across the country. And the one in Chicago flopped so bad that they just pulled it after a year.
They were like, nope, nope, reverse.
Yep. So then they closed down the entire operations that ran Disney Quest, but then because it was part of a different department, and then Parks and Entertainment just basically sucked in that last Disney Quest one that was there and just kept control of it themselves. But then it got no updates. It got nothing.
And fun side note, since they've closed, a lot of those games that you could find in Disney Quest, I'm not going to say a lot, I guess I can't, because it's 5 floors worth of games.
Yeah.
But you can find some of them at the resorts in the game rooms.
Really?
So, just some of the simple ones. So, it'd be there's a replacement for this car simulator or whatever. It wasn't like the roller coaster simulator where they had the rotations and all of that.
Right.
But that was a big guy in downtown Disney, but it was half of the size it is now.
Right.
And they had some restaurants, but they weren't big ones. I believe Rainforest Cafe
had opened
for downtown Disney, and T-Rex maybe?
Yeah, by the time about 2003 rolled around was kind of when is my first memory of the current form of downtown Disney, which was a lot smaller than it is today. It was just Marketplace, Pleasure Island, or what was Pleasure Island.
You want to know my first memory of downtown Disney? I think it was like 1995, and it was around Christmas, and we had gone down for a family's wedding, and I just remember going to downtown Disney and seeing Santa in board shorts in a sandcastle chair. And I had to sit on the lap of some Santa in board shorts in a sandcastle chair. And I was like, wait, this is not Santa.
This is not Santa,
a Minnesota Santa.
You are not the real Santa, sir.
And it was also the first place that I found the Mickey pencil with the little
pencil
where it's bent.
And you're like, oh,
and I was like, that's amazing. So there's my first memory.
Yeah. So downtown, and I think that would have still been like Walt Disney World, because it was 95. It didn't become downtown Disney until 97.
Okay.
So
I don't know my
it's
dates.
like we're not trying to figure out exactly what date it was, but
I would say whenever my aunt and uncle, that I'm not going to name on here, but they're one of 8, got married. That's when.
Nice. So, and then there was something else relevant here. Oh, yes, and around that time was also when they put in La Nouba.
Yes, the first Cirque du Soleil
permanent
installation there on Disney property.
So it's designed to look like a tent, a circus tent, but it's actually a permanent structure, a permanent stage that was purpose-built for Cirque du Soleil, and you can really see that. It's the stage is just so different. That whole space is very different to experience. It's got it doesn't totally encircle the stage, but it's like 3 sides and it's rounded.
It's a lot more different than the versions of Cirque du Soleil that you would find in
a traveling situation.
Or in Vegas. Or
is
a situation like
Vegas
that.
more like a stage show?
Depending on the show, but all of them that I've been to have pretty much been stage audience.
Okay.
Maybe some side stuff.
Yeah, because La Nouba was fun because it also had like a 100-foot high ceiling. It wasn't 100 feet, but it was a very tall ceiling, and you would they could throw people in up and down. And that show just ended like in the last 3 years.
Yeah, just recently.
Just very recently, and it ran for like 20.
Ever.
It was like 20 years. It ran.
Ever.
Yeah, and it was the same show, and it was very good. It was a very good show, and I obviously can't recommend it because it's not showing anymore, but the music was cool for the first 20 minutes. But Cirque
du Soleil is still amazing.
Still amazing. The first 20 minutes of the show I didn't know it was a live band until I realized it was a live band, and I was like, what? No way. I mean, it was mixed, and it was everything about it was just so incredible that it was 14-year-old Ian lost his mind. But
then I would say just recently, but maybe not just recently. What is it, 2015? I was going to say 13.
Yeah.
You're better at that date than I am. But they came out with officially Disney Springs, where, like I said before, they doubled, if not tripled, the space that they had for the parks. Pleasure Island closed in, I think, 2008 officially.
Yeah.
And so there has been a time where, there were buildings there, but they weren't officially claimed.
Yeah.
And now it's become a big eating area.
Yeah.
But the whole of Disney Springs is
so different than it used to be.
It's a destination on itself right now. There
is only one area that I actually truly recognize, or 2 areas. One is where La Nouba was. So that structure and the area directly around it, where there's bongos and House of Blues, and I've eaten at both of those places, and then La Nouba, and so that's kind of like a little corner that I recognize.
And Disney Quest.
And Disney Quest, or the building formerly known as Disney Quest.
Well, that building's completely gone. So
is it totally gone?
Yeah,
I thought they had just repurposed it.
No, they basically ripped it.
Oh wow!
And then rebuilt.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So that corner, and then the area where the Lego serpent is.
That's where Santa was.
That's where Santa was? Okay.
That's where Sandcastle Santa was.
Yeah, so that, and then World of Disney, which is the largest Disney gift shop, that whole area is still more or less the way I remember it.
They're still working on things. Last time we were down there, they were working on World of Disney, and it was like half of the building was closed.
You only had access to that main room. They kind of closed
in
it
the
out.
far side as well.
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't, the rest of it, like, you'd be able to go from one side and walk through, and there'd be like big categories for each area. Like one area just had pens and pencils. Again, I'm focusing on that because I love them. And I was like, oh, I'm having stationery. But awesome. Stained glass they had at that point in time, and they're just changing it completely and rebranding.
Yeah.
Which you need to do to keep relevant.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's still work being done. There's still restaurants being opened, but now the restaurants are a lot more high end.
A lot more high end.
We're talking Morimoto Asia. We're talking what just opened up Haleo.
Yeah.
And a number of other things.
And some kind of more upscale themed stuff. Like we went to the Edison.
Edison was
really quite good.
Really cool. We talked about that being the steampunk.
Yeah, steampunk bar restaurant. Really, and again, it's Disney, so the theming is impeccable.
Marie and Enzo's Hideaway is like a speakeasy, so you have to go down and under, and just this little back hole.
Yeah.
Then there's the Boathouse, which had amazing food.
Yep, that was also good. We just popped in there for a drink.
They're hangar bars, Indiana Jones themed.
Yep, that's
They're the ones that actually have the aqua cars, so you can rent time on an aqua car. They provide their own driver, obviously, but will take you out onto the lake with a very 50s feeling car.
Yeah.
And just go puttering around as a boat.
Yeah, because why not? Why wouldn't you? Yeah. So and then you got the hot air balloon thingy.
Yep.
It's like tethered. It just goes up and down. There's so many things now, and like the upscale shopping. There's like I saw a Burberry. Like there's like a lot of stuff there that is surprising.
And even high-end Disney stuff, because in the Marketplace Co-op, they have changed it so they have the dress shop, which has the really nice high-end dresses, and for a while they had a corresponding men's area where you could get a matching tie to go with the women's dress and everything.
That's super cool.
Now I believe they have dog spirit jerseys in there too.
Of course.
Because, we're dog lovers out here, but they have individual Disney stores as well as the big Disney store. Right. Shop Disney Styles in there.
Right.
Specific stores for Star Wars, Marvel, everything.
You can...
Pins. There's a whole store that's just pins.
Yeah, that was
and
interesting.
Pin trading.
There's a book place too, wasn't there? Or was I not thinking? No, that might not have been there. I think I saw a book spot. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
If there was, I didn't see it.
Okay,
but you know me and books, so...
Didn't we go somewhere with books? That's okay. I'm probably misremembering something.
It's okay.
That's okay. But yeah, it's basically anything that you would want to find Disney related that you can find it there. Even like Dole Whip, you can find it there. I mean, it's pretty much like...
Yeah, you did have your first Dole Whip there.
I had it there, not in Magic Kingdom. So it's pretty cool. And if you're in a situation where you're just like, I don't want to go into a park today. Like, it's
free.
You can go for multiple days to this place and see different stuff each day.
Yeah, it's a free entertainment area. And I will say entertainment because they do still have characters that pop up occasionally, as well as free... singers and bands that play. Yeah. I've pulled up before on a cushion and bought myself a margarita and watched this guy, do a whole set, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it's just done in a way that's very, very... It was the first time I went in there in the new Disney Springs version. I definitely had kind of like a curmudgeon, like, they're making it so upscale. But on the other hand, like, they did such a good job with it, as they would, but it's one of those things where it was like, wow, this is totally different than it used to be, and it used to be kind of charming, like it was kind of like, what is this little guy, like, And now it's just kind of like an outdoor mall.
It's
but
it's an entity unto itself.
Unto itself. Yeah.
Unto.
Yeah. We got this.
And then also they provide parking now. They have 2 huge parking ramps that they didn't have before.
Yeah, it was just ground parking.
Ground parking. Or having to take the bus over or the boat.
Or the boat.
And that's how I remember getting there in 19. So
it's funny because me too. Me too. We're devolving fast, guys. Sorry. I was at Port Orleans. And Port Orleans has a direct one
and we were at Dixie Landing, which was
Port Orleans, but
it's Riverside now.
Yeah,
it wasn't Riverside before. It was Dixie Landing.
Yeah, so it was the same, but they were like right next to each other. So
take a little boat.
Yeah,
all the way up there.
It's pretty cool, and then you can go and have your nightlife, and just take your boat right back to the dock.
It's a sober cab.
It's a sober cab. Yeah. Wonder how many drunk people those poor boat drivers have to deal with. Anyway.
I mean, it is Disney, though.
There's no Pleasure Island anymore, so probably
much. But we have talked before, they are starting to bring some of the nightlife back, hence with the Edison.
Yep.
The Edison, after, I believe, 10 o'clock, was it? Mm-hmm. They actually have performers come out, not just singers, but burlesque dancers, aerialists.
Yes.
They had stilt walkers when we were there.
Yep, they were just kind of hawking outside, though.
But they provide a little bit more upscale option, a little bit more of an adult flavored option.
Yeah, but they do it in a more decentralized way, which I think is probably for the best. Instead of getting all of the rowdiness and just like pushing it into a corner, like they did with Pleasure Island, and now having kind of it scattered throughout and having these kind of nightlife kind of pulses across everything and having that going is kind of a neat way to handle it. You get that kind of distributed...
Because then you also have like Raglan Road, and then you have like the full Irish feel there, with the dancers and the singers there.
Absolutely.
And the rowdiness that comes with Irish. And then there's all these different little pockets that give you different feels, but it's all still connected, which is fun to wander around and experience.
Yeah.
But since it is free as well, you don't have to worry about things like you do at the parks where it's like, okay, so I need to go through metal detectors and I have to make sure that my bag is going to be able to be searchable and I need to, make this fast pass on this time. And if you're going to a restaurant, still make your reservations.
Yes.
And
it's all available still through the app. So beware of that.
And food allergy awareness is high there as well.
Yep, same
even
standards.
Though the restaurants are not necessarily owned by Disney.
But almost all of them...
They're held to the same standards.
Yeah, held to the same standard, and I think most of them are tied into the system. Mm-hmm. You can use some for meal plan, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, and then I think most of them you can play with Magic Band, but not all. But I think it's overall they wanted it to be just as seamless as you would be in a park. So it's if you're already staying and you go to downtown Disney, you're still gonna feel that same level of connection. Disney Springs, whatever, it's fine. Let's go to MGM next.
I will say this is one of my favorite areas to go to on day one for when your flight gets in and you drop off your stuff instead of having to pay $100+ to do a half day at a theme park. Just put down your stuff, tootle on over to Disney Springs, and just kind of get into the Disney atmosphere that way.
Yeah,
it's a nice gentle way to start off your vacation instead of gung-ho Magic Kingdom on a Saturday night. Let's do this.
No, thank you, please. I don't think there's ever been a day where I've come in and gone to a park the day that I arrived. It's just like, it's so much easier to just like get to know your resort, get a feel for it, get settled in, go to Disney Springs,
it's have
a dinner, get the vibe, start to feel it, come back, and then hit it your next day. It is absolutely the best way to go, in my opinion.
And leave as well. I mean, it's if you've been pushing it for 5, 6, 7 days, the last day, just take a day.
Yeah.
Hit the pool, go to Disney Springs, do a little bit of shopping. Almost everything that you would buy at the parks, you can buy there at Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Except for the board game that I bought. The Life board game wasn't there.
Yeah.
But it's because they had sold out, and so it was only still in the park. But almost everything else you can get in Disney Springs, which they'll still send back to your resort, so you don't have to carry it around, and you still have all those same conveniences.
Yeah.
So just chill out.
It's a really nice option. Michael Eisner. Dang you, Michael Eisner, and keeping us on property. But it is really, really slick. So nice place to visit, even though me as a curmudgeonly old man being kind of grumpy about how upscale they've made it, but it's still really cool.
I can still take you to T-Rex and you can get your your chicken fingers shaped in the I don't know. Yeah. Or Chicken Guy. We'll just go to Chicken Guy again. Chicken Guy. You got your fried pickles last time.
Yeah. I'm on my way to Flavortown.
On that note, I think we're going to wrap this
reference. I guess it's time to get out of this deal.
We're getting a little silly here. So this has been WD Carousel Podcast. Thank you so much for listening and watching. My name's Crystal.
And I'm Ian.
And we hope you all have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away.